Look at me. Yep. All the puppies are sleeping. Yep. That's how you look the week before competition too.
Alright, what's going on, guys? I figured I needed to get this video out because I think, what is it, maybe it's October, November. It's getting close to the end of competition season. Competitors, I'm sure, are happy. They're ready to eat and celebrate the holidays and everything like that, right? But I wanted to make this video especially for the clients that I've prepped in the past, that I've prepped this year, and the future ones that I will prep, and things like that, where I want, and not just them, I want everybody to know really what they're getting themselves into, you know, when they start competing. With what I do, my business is not a contest prep business, you know, or any of that thing. I work with everyone, from person who wants to, you know, just get in shape, lose a few pounds, look good, feel good. They want to just lose some fat, be able to see more of their muscle. I work from people, teenagers to, I think my oldest client was in their 60s so far. But obviously I do offer the specialty of contest prep coaching because I've been doing it for the past 6 years. I've been competing myself. I've worked with, you know, three to four of the people who I consider the best in the industry at what they do. I've learned a lot. I've learned through the experience of it, and I've gone through it. So I obviously offer that specialty, you know. So for people who come on with me and compete, I do let them know right ahead the risks that are involved here, because it's not an easy road. You know, I do things in the healthiest way possible, you know. But competing itself isn't healthy. You know what I mean? You know, we're taking our body to a level that it doesn't want to be at. We're pushing it to a place it doesn't want to be. You know, our body wants to maintain homeostasis, maintain a balance. And when you have to compete and get that low body fat and get really, really lean, you're going against a lot of signals in your body that we're really not supposed to. You know, we're supposed to have body fat on us. Body fat serves a pivotal role in, you know, hormone production, protection, insulation. A lot of things go on and why we need body fat. But to compete, you're gonna have to get in shape, and to get in shape, you're gonna have to get really, really lean if you want to place well, you know. And obviously, getting to that point, there are risks involved. You know, it's not just this squeaky clean road to looking great. And granted, there are some people who can just compete and then, you know, next day go out to dinner or have some donuts, and then Monday they're right back on playing and stuff. And you got some genetically elite and enhanced people who can just compete like 10 times a year and be fine, you know. But that's like the top 5% of people. For the rest of the people, including myself, it's very tough on you, you know. And it's just not everyone is, competing is not meant for everyone. It just isn't. When you have to take your body to that level, and that body fat has to come down. For guys, you know, we shoot for 4% body fat. Women, you know, you shoot for 10% body fat, below 10. You're getting to a place where it's just not healthy, and that's just what it is. And when you get to that place, you know, your libido goes down. You can, you know, when people compete, you can say goodbye to your sex drive. You know, for guys, it'd be like, you know, you might not get an erection for like a couple weeks, you know, 4 or 6 weeks leading up to a competition. For girls, you know, I've had some girls, and I've heard of some stories of people come to me that need recovery. They haven't gotten their period in like 3 or 4 months. Before the competition and after the competition, they haven't gotten their period, you know. Obviously, this stuff is not healthy, but you have to go in understanding that no one's forcing you to compete. It's your choice. So to do that, you obviously, we try and do things in the healthiest way possible, but healthy is relative when it comes to competing. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you can experience hair loss. I mean, like no energy, no clear thinking. You know, I can even use Bev as an example, because right now we're getting ready for a photo shoot. It's similar, you want to get in good shape, but I think competing takes it to a new level. But obviously we still want to look good for the photo shoot, so we're going really hard. And this past week for her has just been really, really tough. It's about a week and a half away, and she's had a few breakdowns at work. Work is just becomes stressful because you're dieting and you're overtraining and you're overreaching. You're doing all this stuff because you need to attain a certain look that you think you need and that you want. And there's been many nights where crying is involved, and you're gonna get snappy, you're gonna get irritable. You have no idea why either. You just, for some reason, you just become like a different person, and that's not healthy. And that's not even really cool, to be honest. I remember when I think it wasn't my teenage competitions. I think it might have been the year later, where I went through about 3 preps. I think it was my 4th competition maybe. And then my mom was like, I think I was probably a few weeks away. Usually that's when those feelings start coming on. Obviously like, the 12-week mark or 16-week mark to like 6 weeks out, it's okay. You're still eating probably a good amount of food. You're not overdoing the cardio and anything like that. But when you get to like 4 weeks out, 5 weeks out, depending on how much fat mass you have to lose, this is when things start getting weird, And my mom was just like, one year, I remember it. I'll never forget it. She was just like, when am I gonna have my real son back? And I laugh about it, but it's scary to think that just going through that phase changes you into something you're not. All you think about is food. It cuts off relationships, time with family, friends. You're sacrificing all of that. And so if you're not willing to do that, don't compete. A lot of people don't know what they're getting themselves into. And it's just tough because that's why people even ask me, like, when's the next time you're competing? Because I took this year off. I even took last year off. I took the past 2 years off. And people have different reasons. My reason for, competing and getting in great shape and all that stuff is, it's because I love challenging myself. I love the look. I love being lean. I love, building myself up, taking a few months out of the year to increase my calories and change up my training protocols to, strength training and all that stuff. And then I love going through the process of stripping off whatever body fat that I have, whatever body fat that I gained, to see the muscle at its peak condition, to see what the progress was. That's why I do it. I do it to get better every single year, and I do it to achieve a better condition every year, a better look every year. And here's the thing, you don't have to compete to do that. You know what I mean? If you're trying to be a bodybuilder or an athlete or bikini competitor or anything like that, you don't have to get on stage to be that. You can go through right now and start a 12-week diet and make a promise to yourself that you're going to get into the best shape of your life in 12 weeks, and you're going to do whatever it takes to get there. And at the end of 12 weeks, who knows, you might even look better than 90% of the people on stage. You probably could have won a competition, depending on how you look. But you don't have to get on stage to achieve that. You know what I mean? And I don't think people understand. I think first-time competitors, I've trained a lot of first-time competitors as well. A lot of them come back for more competitions because they're just like me. They get bit by the bug. They love the challenge. They love the sacrifice. They love everything about it, like I do. I think we're just a different kind of breed of people. But I've also had people who do the first competition, they're just like, oh, I could never do this again. This was the hardest thing I've ever done. Bev has said multiple times, it's the hardest thing she's ever done. In my eyes, it's one of the hardest sports to do. It's 24/7. Everything matters. Sleep, rest, the training, the diet, the cardio, never missing anything. Everything matters. In certain sports, you can, you kind of get off seasons, and we say we have an off season in bodybuilding and lifting, but there's no off season really. You just increase calories. You're still eating, whatever 3, 4, 5 meals a day strategically. You're still getting to the workout. You still have a set workout program you're doing. You still have a set number of macros. There's really no off season. But for certain sports, you get a few months off. After you have a game, a football game, basketball game. You just go out, get something good to eat, whatever you want to eat. It doesn't happen in this sport, and when you're trying to get down to that body fat, it just doesn't happen. It doesn't matter how you feel. You already know the next meal you're gonna eat before you go to bed. No matter how you feel, no matter how much training you've done, no matter how much cardio you've done. Hey, meal 6 is meal 6. You're eating it, and I don't think most people understand that whole aspect of it. And talking about nutrition, it absolutely leads to eating disorders and binge eating. And I could talk from experience. If you guys haven't read my article on binge eating, it's on my website. But the first couple years, I went through that whole cycle: diet hard, get in great shape for the competition, and then 2 weeks later, you would think I never competed. I remember my first competition that I did. I was 19 because I did 3 competitions as a teenager. I remember. And I did it at 19. I took the next week off from lifting because that's what everybody said. After you're competing, just take next week off. Rest, eat. So I took the next week off. I think I must have went out to eat like every day the next week, whether it was breakfast or whether I would just go to Stop and Shop and get like everything I wanted, like a box of cereal, ice cream, oven, deep dish oven pizza, and whatever I wanted. I think I did that every single day. I gained like 21 pounds in 2 weeks, and it was insane. I was like, is this really what's supposed to be going on? Like, I had no idea what happened. And then because of that, you get a mental terrible relationship with yourself, right? And then you look in the mirror, you get like, you get body dysmorphia and all this stuff. You look at yourself, you're like, what the fuck just happened? And then you're like not satisfied with yourself. You feel like a failure, because even though you just felt like a complete winner, because you just got in the best shape of your life. You followed everything. You did exactly what you're supposed to do, and you tried your hardest, and you looked the best you've ever could. You felt like a winner. 2 weeks later, you're depressed because of how you look. And because of that, I started dieting that next week. I took that week off, ate whatever I wanted. That next Monday, I started dieting for my next competition because I couldn't stand how I looked. That's the stuff you might have to prepare to go through, because if you've never competed before and you don't understand the ramifications and the toll it's going to take on your mental psyche, you need to prepare for that type of stuff. And that's just what it is, And obviously, alongside dieting that hard and taking things to that extreme, you have no type of clear thinking. It affects your career, it affects your job, whether you want to believe it or not. You just go through you go from like caring about what you're doing to just like going through the motions, because you have no energy. How the hell did that fly get in here? You just have no energy to do anything else. You're eating like just enough to get through your cardio and get through your workout at the top amount of effort that you can give. And then that's it. Everything else is just like, screw it, like I gotta go work, whatever. You just go through the motions. And this is all stories I hear from people and that I went through previously, but it's gonna be one of the toughest experiences that you're gonna go through. And I really made this video for people who are thinking about competing, because obviously people who've already competed, they know what I'm talking about, unless you're that top 5% that can just compete 10 times a year and go right back to your regular life and it not affect you. It doesn't happen for most people. So if you're thinking about competing, understand the risks that you're going to be going through and really how unhealthy it is to do it. But again, we need a different mindset to really do it. For me, it's just, I love pushing myself. I love looking back at like last year's photos of like the best condition and shape I was in. And in the back of my mind, I'm just like, I could look so much better than that. That's that striving mentality we talk about. But so then the next year comes around, I pick a date, I'm like, okay, it's been 4 or 5 months of good eating, good calorie intake, awesome training. Time to shed this fat off. Let's see what we got under here. Let's see the progress we made. And I love that. And that's why I do it. And I also do it to represent myself and my brand and my business, because I truly believe that you have to lead by example and you have to look the part. I'll probably get on a lot of people's nerves about it, but I mean, if you've never competed, you have no what's the word? You have no like reason or whatever the word is to be a contest prep coach. If you've never competed, like, just don't coach people. You really have to know what people are going through so that you can relate on a level, because you've been there. You know, you have to be that person to help somebody. If you've never competed, you never understand. I don't care how much you know from a textbook or how much you know about physiology and all this stuff. You haven't been through the experience, you know, and experience sometimes is the best teacher. So that's why I do it. I lead by example. I do it because I want to represent people. I want to show people what can be done, the transformations that you can make when you really just haul ass and you don't fuck around. And I'm about to show you that in a few. I had this photo shoot in a week and a half. I started cutting about 9 weeks ago. And I dropped about 25 pounds, and I knew because I knew the weight that I wanted to get to in my head. And not one day did I miss a meal, did I miss a cardio session, did I miss a workout. Not one day did I ever give less than 100% that I could. And you can see from my transformation that I'll post once it's done, that what can be achieved if you don't mess around and you just get down to business. But there are ramifications to that. You know, like, Bev is not a snappy person at all. You know, she's so happy and positive and all this. I mean, she's amazing in that way. And then just, you know, yesterday she's like, "Why am I so irritable all of a sudden?" Like, and I'm like, "What do you expect? You're on like 1,300 calories, doing cardio 6-7 days a week. You're lifting 5 times a week. You're doing, you know, 3 to 4 12-hour shifts at a hospital as a nurse, dealing with a ton of personalities. People are being rude to you. You're running around. You got to walk 400-pound obese people around. Why wouldn't you be irritable? You know what I mean?" But on the flip side, if she was eating like a sufficient amount of calories, not overdoing the cardio, not getting so stressed mentally about how she needs to look and all these things that go into prepping and competing, she would never be irritable, because she's never like how she is right now throughout the whole rest of the year if she's not getting ready for anything. And it's the same thing that goes for me. You know, the past like 3 weeks, I feel like I need a nap every day, and I'm never like that. I could wake up at 6 a.m., be good to go the whole entire day, whatever I need to do, including workouts, cardio, all that stuff. And then I'll lay down at night and actually be tired to go to sleep. I feel like I need naps like every day, sometimes multiple times per day. And you know what? That's what you have to get ready for. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on it, because I do get a lot of emails about people saying, "Hey, you know," they send me pictures like now, and they're like, "Hey, you know, what do you think of me doing my first competition next year?" And even if they may look great and stuff like that, I obviously tell them, you have a great physique, but understand what you're gonna get yourself into, you know, and especially if you have a lot of fat to lose in a short amount of time, you're gonna be going through hell. That's just what it is, you know. It's gonna be an absolute killer for you. If you start leaner, which is what I always suggest, and I've gone through after the past 4 years, I finally learned how to stay lean and create a healthy lifestyle around cutting, and then, you know, only gaining 10, 15 pounds over what I look my best at. That took years of experience. Like I told you, when I was 19, I gained, you know, 25 pounds in two weeks. I've learned that experience, you know, as it goes a long way. And people know I do flexible dieting and macros and all that stuff, but dude, it doesn't matter if you do flexible dieting or if you do the bro diets. You're still dieting for a competition. You still have to get super lean. It's not fun at all. It's unhealthy. It doesn't matter if you're able to eat what you want during the day to fit your macros, or if you're not, you're just following a meal 1 through 6 plan. It sucks either way, you know? And I try and tell people that, be like, "Hey, you look great, but understand what you're gonna get into." And if you have, like I said, a lot of fat to lose in a shorter amount of time, it's gonna be much, much tougher for you. You're gonna even see it during your prep. You're gonna transform into someone that you didn't even know you were, like mentally and and all this other stuff. But you know, everybody's got their reasons, right? And even one of Bev's friends months ago, she was finishing up her like 3 competitions in a row earlier this year. And I promise you, all the messages that she got from her were all negative. They were all negative. Just I don't know why I'm doing this. I can't do this anymore. It's affecting my relationship with my boyfriend. I don't know why I'm doing this. I mean, and again, you have to understand that's what you're getting yourself into. No one's forcing you to do it. You're choosing to compete. And if you are in that type of mindset where you want to be the best, you want to look the best, you're going to do what needs to be done, understand it's going to be a battle. It's not going to be this like little lackadaisical, like, oh, this is going to be fun these next 12 weeks. I'm going to look the best ever. Like, it's not going to be fun. It's going to be very, very nitty gritty. You're not going to want to talk to a lot of people. You're going to get stressed out easy. You're going to get irritable easy. You're going to have no like clear thinking. Your libido is going to be shot. All you're going to have freaking energy for, you're not even going to have energy for your workouts and cardio. You're going to be eating the same meals every single day. You understand what you're getting yourself into is what I wanted to get from this video to you guys, especially the people who emailed me and messaged me, hey, I might do my first competition next year, blah, blah, blah. Understand what you're getting yourself into. Understand that it's really not a healthy thing to compete, pushing your body way beyond its boundaries, way beyond the type of balance it wants, pushing yourself way beyond that. You're overreaching, you're overtraining. And then, you know, post-competition is a whole other story. I'll actually do, probably right after this, I'll do a video on post-competition. And once you're done with competing, everything that is hard about that. Because if you think competing is hard, getting back on track after the competition is a whole new battle. Competing is not even hard compared to what you have to do after you compete, you know. So I hope this video helped you guys. I hope it brought some insight to some of you new competitors out there who are thinking about competing. And to everybody that's competing, everybody that's like me, that's pushing themselves and that wants to compete, is going to keep doing it. Keep grinding through your prep. You know that there's a silver light at the end of the tunnel. Just keep grinding it out, finish out this competition season hard, you know, and then enjoy the holidays, you know, with your family and friends, because then it's going to come around sooner than later, you know. A bunch of us start prepping like, you know, February or March or whenever your first competition will be. But yeah, understand what you're getting yourself into when you're competing, guys. It's really not a game. It's a very long, harsh, difficult road. But if you're up for it, your reasons are your reasons, go for it. But just understand what you're getting yourself into. All right, so as always, guys, take care. God bless.